Okay, here we go. So get ready for the dragon talk, y'all. Yay. Okay. Oh, is it working? Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, so before we get into the dragon talk itself, I just want to take a few moments, a moment right here. The wood dragon year only happens every 60 years. The next time it happens is 2084. I just want to take a moment here to recognize, where will you be in 2084? How old would you be? How about your loved ones? Are you going to be still here on earth, or are you already past? I just wanted to really allow us to drop into this moment, this precious time. Allowing us to feel the temporariness of life. And how precious it is that we are here. So let's just take a couple of breaths, landing here, arriving. The dragon year is a powerful, transformative year, but that depends on how you wield that energy and how you wield that power, because power is neutral. You could either transform your life and go to the next level, or it could empower your distortions, your weakness, creating more neurosis in the world. So just remembering the power of the dragon is upon us as we then come into this year. So welcome to the Wood Dragon Year Talk. Okay. What's amazing about the Dragon Year Talk is that all the animals are within the dragon. Out of all the Chinese characters, the dragon actually embodies all the 12 animals within it, which means it's actually all the animals are within you to access. So there's a lot of resource available to you that wouldn't be available in any other time of the year or any other years. So remembering that, as we talk about, one of the themes is capacity meets opportunity. What is your capacity to meet the opportunity that arises, right? This year, you have the capacity of 12 animals to then rise to the occasion, transform your life, heal your life, and go to the next level. So why is this even important to talk about? Why do we need to learn about astrology and a little bit of feng shui? Because to the untrained eye, everything looks like chaos. Like, why is this happening to me? Why me? What's going on? When we don't actually see the patterns in nature, when we don't understand what's happening according to the time, then we feel lost. We feel like we're victims of our own life. We feel like we're victims of the emotions, of the situation, of relationships, of how did this even happen in my life? Well, this is why it's important to actually understand the energies. We look at astrology as time, feng shui as space. And so in this reality, we need to learn, we need to know, we need to be aware of the energies of time and space in order to navigate, in order to understand the patterns, in order to see that it isn't chaos, but opportunity. So that's what we're going to look at. Like everything in the dragon year, as I was just saying, you have all the 12 animals. Their energies are rising within you. So then therefore, it's either you wield them. All right. About time. No, okay. you're either going to wield them or they're going to overwhelm you. Okay? One of the things I love this thing that my teacher says, which is, go ahead, is that time changes. It does not evolve. We evolve through time, but we evolve by understanding how we can navigate and actually access the opportunity of time. So this, again, is the capacity meeting the opportunity in the moment. And the other part of this is that this is also important because it's important to realize we don't have only one kind of intelligence. You know, we talk about intelligence, the mind, the rational mind, the logical mind, but we actually have five different types of intelligence within our body. We have the intelligence of air. We have the intelligence of space. All of the things that make us, all the 5 elements that make us, which is air, water, earth, fire, and space, all of that is within us. And so this year also we have access to a lot of that intelligence. So we're probably feeling like, wow, I feel the power. I feel like there's an expansion. I feel like there's a deepening. All of these things are the intelligence opening as you actually gain more access to it in the dragon year. So as you can see, I've been so excited to actually share about the dragon because I feel like it's such an empowering time. So just to kind of reflect, what happened in the last Wood Year Dragon? That was 1964. And in 1964, the civil rights movement was actually written into law. In 1964, there were more demonstrations arising throughout the world, people becoming more vocal, finding their own way of being and being able to speak. And then there was also the escalation of the Vietnam War, and then Cassius Clay proclaimed that he was Muhammad Ali. So there's a lot of energy moving through that year is very similar to what we're going to be seeing this year as well. And then I also noted here the energies of the dragon year. So the dragon is a time of transformation, innovation, leadership, so where leaders rise. And when we talk about leaders, it's not about somebody else you elect. It's not another politician. It's not another savior. The dragon is saying, hey, how about you? The dragon is within you. This is one of the things what I love about the cosmology of the Chinese and the animals is realizing all these animals are aspects of you. They're basically the qualities of energy. And this year, the quality of dragon is rising within each of us. And so where is that then? We're going to take a look at how that can evolve this year and how we can wield it and how we can then ride the dragon. So the dragon years are filled with innovation, dismantling the old outdated paradigms that no longer serve, as we're seeing now, and it's going to culminate, right? This year, it's creating actually the foundation. So this year is also in feng shui, according to the flying star feng shui, it's a beginning cycle of the next 20 years. This year, the dragon year. So whatever feng shui remedies you have to actually change it because it's different. So the flying star feng shui actually takes into consideration the astrology as well. And so what does this mean? This means that period 8, which we've been in for the past 20 years, which was dominated by young male energy, is now shifting into middle-aged woman energy. Woohoo! Ladies in the house, woohoo! Yeah. And so there's more power rising through the women to take the stage, to lead. It's our turn, it's our time. And so I'm not to dismiss men. This is the feminine energy rising within you as well, right? Because each and every one of us has the feminine and masculine quality. So this is the feminine quality that is rising. So what does this mean? This means that the energy, as it has been for a very long time, is the yang energy where it's coming from the outside to mold us, to define us. Now the yin is coming through. The shift of power is coming through. That means the power is coming from within to inform out. It is coming through in order to create. So this is going to be a really interesting shift and change as we are seeing it in our own lives. We're seeing how sensitive we're becoming. We're seeing that, hey, you know what? I shouldn't be labeled like this. That's old programming. I'm feeling something new. I feel something different. I feel like there is something becoming in me that I don't know yet. And so that's the mystery. That's what's actually being activated. The yin of our being, the spirit, the soul, that which is the depth of our being. And we're seeing that more and more as we're being guided from that place. Correct? It's a lot of people actually, the divorce rates are up. And a lot of the divorce rates is not by men, it's actually by women. Women are like, I'm done with this. I know there's something better, there's something, and so it's that movement. It's like, whoa, what was isn't anymore. And I got to shift and change. So this is also the time where we allow the depth of our being to guide our lives, not by the outside. Because if you do that, you're actually going against your natural power that's rising. Yeah, and so this is also in the Lee trigram. The Lee trigram is fire cycle. So fire, acceleration, transformation, like just a lot of that magnetism, because the yin, the mature woman is about one who actually knows herself, knows who she is. She's unapologetically is who she is, right? That doesn't mean she doesn't have mistakes or she doesn't, but it is like, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and this is what I'm creating in my life from here. So this is going to be an important time to cultivate the depth of your being. This is an important time to actually have inner reflection and awareness and just seeing, okay, how am I aligned within in order to inform and create my reality? Because what we create in our reality is really a reflection of where we're coming from. Okay. So I just wanted to give you guys a feeling, an idea of what's coming up this year. So these are the qualities of the dragon year that's going to be really like shaping the next year. This year, starting today, y'all. Starting today. So imagination, and we'll get to that. Imagination, power, and leadership. We have a separate slide for that, but I wanted to look at embodiment here. Embodiment. What does it mean to be embodied? When we think of embodiment, we think of just our body, right? Oh, this is my body, this is who I am, I'm separate from things. But actually embodiment in the dragon year is like wingspan. It's all the 12 animals. It's all your ancestors. You are a culmination of your ancestors. And so it's remembering and honoring that, hey, you know what? I'm not just living this lifetime. I've lived 1,000 years or more. And there are many beings that brought me to where I am today. Whether that's my parents, which are our living ancestors, or our grandparents and beyond. It is that we feel the power of our ancestors. And so we see that more, right? We're recognizing and honoring and venerating our ancestors. Realizing, oh, I am made up of all these beings. My intelligence is made up of all of these beings before me who have now passed away. As well as we've also inherited some of their traits and things like wounds that they need to heal. Whatever wasn't healed by our parents, we inherit. And whatever we don't heal gets inherited by our kids. Right? And so we're becoming more conscious and aware of how are we this amazing embodiment of all that has been. Embracing that and remembering the capacity then to meet the opportunity. If you're the culmination of your ancestors, it makes you look at life and your world in a radically different way. Right? Capacity meets opportunity, we're talking about that, a lot of innovation. The dragon actually, here it is, capacity meets opportunity. The dragon is a flying dragon. The wood dragon, it's a wood dragon this year, so that means it's on top of the trees and it's in the air and it's flying. There's 5 types of dragon depending on the elements. This year it's the wood dragon, which means you're flying. And this is like, it's not one of those, I was joking with my husband, I was like, this is not the year of the seagull. This is not the year of the bluebird. This is the year of the dragon, yo. It's like, let's go, right? Let's go, let's do this. And it is spring. So you're going to feel the power of the dragon rising within you. And for especially the rats. But anyway, so yeah, they're fast. They're circuitous in flight, which means actually they're navigating through the unseen and seen worlds. They're not going linear. They're not just, like goal-oriented and that's it, but it's actually circuitous in flight. So this year, be agile, be flexible. Since you have all the resources of the 12 animals, be creative. How do I go through this challenge, or how do I navigate through this? Well, what do I have? What can I do? How can I see? How can I go beyond my usual perspectives, right? And so this is also pushing you to think beyond. Look at your life through the aerial view. Not just here and there, one step, etc., but look at the whole of your life. This is the time of vision. Since you can ride the dragon, you can see the whole of your life. And the dragons don't look back. They're not retrospective. They're not sentimental. They're like, let's do this. That is the energy of the year. All right. And so then also they're composite creatures. They have a snake body, flexibility, right? And scales like a fish, claws like a tiger. So, yeah, there's a lot. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there's 3 factors that can shape your life this year, and this is going to be important for you to cultivate this year. I always like to focus, okay, what are we cultivating this year? Imagination, power, and leadership. This is the call for each of us within us. And the call isn't out there, as Moana says. It's in here. So, imagination. Imagination leads the chi. Imagination leads the mind leads the chi, and the chi leads the blood. What does that mean? That means you have the power to create your reality. That means like, okay, what am I imagining? Because whatever I imagine, my chi will follow, my energy will follow, and from there my blood will follow. So that's really important to keep in mind. And so remembering that, what are you imagining? Are you imagining? You can either imagine fear, which will create more distortions and closed, right? Or you can have faith. Like, I can imagine the possibilities and potentialities of my life, having faith. And so with this, a lot of the fear is because of the unknown. The thing is like, we don't know. I don't know. Can I do this? But actually, that's where our power is. Our power is in the unknown. Our power is in that which has yet to be created. Our potential is in the unknown. So we're constantly walking towards the unknown. And so the imagination is really important, because whatever it is that we're moving towards is guided, again, by our imagination, our chi, and our blood. Because what you focus on, you guys know that, like what you focus on is what you strengthen, what you empower. And then speaking of power, power is a really important, power is really important. And it's because to bring your awareness to power, in that, yeah, people always talk about, why does the rabbit come before the dragon in the sequence of the animals in the Chinese zodiac? They're like, this thing, the rabbit, what? I don't get it. And then from there, the dragon. And it's because the rabbit has heart. The rabbit is intuitive and sensitive and is about connecting. And so without the rabbit, the dragon could just be full of power and can get corrupted if it doesn't know its own heart, if it doesn't know its own sensitivity. And if we don't actually cultivate that depth of our being, the heart, the things that we truly value, then we can become like the poison dragon. And we've seen that many times in our leaders. where they have these amazing intentions and visions, and then they come into power, and they become corrupted by the position itself, by others. So it is so important to be really clear and to be guided by the truth of who you are, because that's your stability. That is what is most important. Like, I'm just remembering, like, Martin Luther King, right, and he talked about how he didn't say, I have a plan, I have a strategy. He says, I have a dream. He was coming from the depth of his being, and from the depth of his being, he was able to connect with so many people who had the same dream. This is that power of the dragon, is to come from the depth of our heart to create a more beautiful world we know is possible by serving each other, not serving ourselves, not having an agenda. Oh yeah, that's how I'm going to get my whatever, fame and fortune and whatnot. The dragon is asking you to actually look in deeper, because there's 3 different levels of our being, right? There's the physical being, which we are, and we have our identity, and then we have the energy being. And then we have our spirit and soul, which is eternal. And so this is that part of the dragon that we're also wanting to cultivate. At the depth of our being, we're cultivating our soul being, our spirit being. Okay. And so the third thing is leadership. In the dragon year, we're usually called to be leaders. And that doesn't mean to save the world. It means, how are you going to serve? When I think of, again, Martin Luther King and Maya Angelou, they had stories about their grandparents taking care of them, and how their heart and love and service shaped who they were, and look at what they brought into the world. So it's also these little ways that we serve each other, the different ways that we show up and share who we are from the depth of our being. Yeah. Okay. Now, we're going to take a look at the animals. And this is the fun part, I think, of the astrology talk. We're going to, like, as I was saying, you know, there are different animals in the Chinese astrology. And I just wanted to make this clear, that actually you have 4 animals. That one that corresponds to the hour you were born, the day you were born, the month you were born, and the year you were born. This time we're going to just take a look at the year you were born. And so depending on what animal you are, it's going to reveal the influences of the year, okay, the auspices of the year. There it is. Okay, so let's begin. Let me just say a couple of words regarding the auspices, the auspicious stars and inauspicious stars. The thing is, these auspicious stars and inauspicious stars, this has been translated in modern times in terms of productivity, right? Like, so for example, the auspicious stars relate to how productive you are, how successful you are. But actually, the way the adepts use to translate this is, what is the opportunity in the moment for you to access in order to go to the next level? So that could actually be going deeper and healing something. It is not just always about being productive. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm seeing nods. But I know these women, they're like amazing. So yeah, you get that. Okay, so let's begin with the mighty rat. So this year, the rats, who's the rats in the house? So you could just look up here and you'll know. So this year, the rats are amazing, they're efficient, and they're very detailed, but they can get lost in the details. And sometimes when they look out into the world, they can get overwhelmed because it's such a big, huge, wide world, and they're just this little thing, right? And so this year, though, the dragons are the rats' allies. So the dragon, as you can see, is actually riding next to the ear of the dragon. because it tells it where to go. It gives it direction. And if you can fly and you can see like the whole of your life and encompassing, then you actually have the power of the dragon. So this is a really important and auspicious year. So like the rats, they can like that. What's this song again? See clearly. So it's like they can ride the dragon and see clearly. So this is an important year for y'all. What is the bigger vision here, riding the dragon? What's the bigger vision of your life? See the whole of your life. What am I creating and visioning for my life, not just now, but the next few years? So taking time to really look at your life. And then these are just some practices, which we'll share these slides with you so you guys can have this access. But there are different practices that you could do in order to clear the energies, because also the rats, sometimes because they can get stressed and overwhelmed, their nervous system can get fragile. So it's really important to tap the body in order to distribute that energy and ground that energy out. And then also eye-gazing practice. Eye-gazing practice, like looking at the sun, looking far, looking close, because that also supports you not to just get fixated with the details, but actually allows you to look far. So whatever you're doing physically can actually support you energetically. Okay, so then the next animal is the ox. Who's the ox? Woohoo, the ox. So this year, the ox are amazing. They're reliable, they're dependable, they're stable, supportive, and reliable. But there's going to be, as you can see in inauspicious, there's like a lot of things that there's people that can be petty around you. There can be gossip and petty people and people who are jealous of you, and so they're intimidated by you, and they're going to be like, look at her. And then there's also things that are directed at you in terms of legal issues. So seek counsel for that. But you just got to shake it off, shake it off. Shake it off, right? And then so the auspicious stars is Jade Hall, which actually means gathering wealth for the long run, right? Just like, okay. And then heavenly view, which means you have support. This is a year where you actually come in deep to recognize the heavenly, the God, the divine within. And so there's a lot of experiences that can allow you to drop in even deeper in order to actually have that be realized in your life. This year, the dragon year. And fortune virtue is what we call dumb luck, where you don't have to do 10,000 things in order to earn your money. It's like windfall or something like inheritance or something like that. It's about a happy moment and celebration of a fortune that you don't realize that will come to you. So that's the ox. And so the next is the tiger. Who's the tiger? Who's the tiger? Any tigers in the house? Oh, yeah. And then so there's the years here. The eye of the tiger, y'all. Who's the tiger? Any tigers in the house? Are you? No. All right, the tigers. The tigers are amazing creatures. As you know, the tiger is courageous, optimistic, tolerant, and generous. The thing is interesting about the tiger, and this is also great if you have relatives or know friends who are tigers, it's really important to know that they have a private face and a public face. Right? They're like, yeah, I'll do it, but they actually need a lot of time alone. Because what they do in that moment when they're out in the public is they give 110% of who they are. And so then therefore, they don't have the resilience. So they have to come in and replenish and nourish themselves. So it's really important to just be mindful of that tigers need time privately as well. So this year, as you can see here. This year you can get what you want, but you must have vision. A lot of the times the tigers are just trying to survive, or like, oh, let me do this, let me do that, in the moment, forgetting that there's actually a life to be lived, to see like far and far. And so it's really important to take the time this year to vision that out. The inauspicious stars here, sky cry refers to being emotional. There's like an emotional instability. Funeral guest means being careful because there might be mourning. There might be, like with elderly parents or things like that, there might be something that they need to attend to and just take care of their elderly parents or people that, you know, they love who is elderly. When I see this in, you know, in the stars, I basically say like, okay, make sure that you've said what you had to say to these people. Make sure you feel complete and whole and at peace, right? And then sky dog is an injury. Like, because there's a lot of energy moving in this year, the tigers can get clumsy and they can get accident prone. So just be careful of that. So just, you know, doing practice like Qigong to help regulate your system and your energy. And before going out into the world, make sure you feel stable, whole, and in integrity, right? And being aware in your space. And sky horse means actually going sky horse. I mean, what does that look like? It means like the flying dragon. The horses, which we'll talk about, was actually known as the earthly dragons. And sky horse means you have this power to go to the next level. But in order to do that, you have to actually speed up, because a lot of tigers are kind of slow sometimes. So you need to speed up in order to do that, and you need to have a vision. Otherwise, your energy will get scattered. And then there's this thriving star, which means it's a star of support. So whatever it is you're envisioning is actually supported this year in terms of career and professional life. Okay, and so the next is rabbits. Are there rabbits in the house? Oh, okay, there. Oh, my dear friends. So rabbits symbolize calm, peace, elegance, and beauty, and sensitivity. They hate conflicts. Sometimes they create more conflicts in order to avoid conflicts. And so because of their sensitivity and intuition, they're usually the natural empaths. They take on a lot of people's energy and also the environment and the space. So if you're a rabbit, it's important to have protective practices, a bubble, a street armor, whatever it is you need to do before you actually go out into the world, because you're going to absorb what is out there. And then you think it's yours, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you think, oh yeah, that's my life, that's who I am. But actually, it may not even be yours. My teacher always says, be aware what you're bringing into your body energetically, because it's very hard to heal shit. You can't heal shit. You can't process shit. You just have to know that's somebody else's. That's the world. That's the negative energy that's out there. So it's important to actually be very aware, like, what environment am I in? Who am I hanging out with? Are they like high vibe or low vibe? You know, like, how am I feeling in this situation? It's really important. As rabbits are very sensitive, to have that awareness and then to create healthy boundaries is going to be very important, especially so because last year was your year. And last year you did 10,000 things and you might have gotten burnt out in the process. Okay. But if you didn't get burnt out, awesome. But if you did get burnt out, it's a time of healing, right? So sickness charm means, this is such a weird translation from the Chinese, but it basically indicates that there is a possibility of getting sickly this year if you don't take care of yourself. If you're taking care of yourself, great. But because there's a lot more energy that could be overwhelming to you, because the rabbits are tiny, small, and sensitive, and you've got this big, huge dragon. So there's like a lot of energy, and it can get overwhelming, and it can stress you out. And being sensitive, that can lead to illness. The other thing is 6 calamity, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Like, holy moly, there's 6 things that can go wrong, whether that's fire, illness, legal issues. Hi! Just relationships, just that indicates that there's a lot of possibilities. So just being really careful, walking through this year, just being aware of what you're doing, what you're signing, and this is also then a call to come and become aware of your energies and how you're using them. So, because the 6th calamity also indicates that if you're not aligned, you're going to attract more negative energies. We talk about power, and power is neutral. But if you're negative, as you know, like attracts like. So it's important to okay, where's my energy? Am I feeling down and out? Do I need to do some practices in order to feel my strength and power here and now and my own stability? Otherwise, if you go out into the world, you can attract negativity in the 6 calamities. So just being aware of that. And then goat blade is this idea that you're going to find yourself in places you don't want to find yourself in if you don't take care of yourself. So rabbits, it's really important to, again, come in. The opportunity is not to be out there. The opportunity is in healing what's in here. And as we talk about healing what's in here, being honest and real, then from there you can then reflect that out, right? Because what you create in the world is a reflection of who you are and where you're coming from. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a question on the practice part.
Yes.
But maybe we haven't got there.
Forgiveness practice.
No.
Which one? Regiment. Oh, press auricular point shaman. So we're going to get to that really quickly here. Okay. So this is auricular points. I thought I'd put it here. I was, when I was doing acupuncture school, studying acupuncture school, I was volunteering at the auricular clinic, and it was amazing. I didn't realize how potent and powerful these points were. And the thing is that acupuncture is basically reprogramming your chi, your energy, right? There are energy pathways that you press or needle in order to activate, in order to then reprogram. And so what's really interesting is that then I did an experiment where instead of just doing acupuncture on friends, I would just tell them, hey, can you press these points, more often? And so when they did, we actually saw better result because they were able to press points, more consistently, reprogramming the chi. So this is one of the things I do recommend is looking into auricular. And these are easy. You can create ear seeds and things like that. How many of you guys are familiar with auricular or ear acupuncture? Kind of? Yeah, and it's like what I wrote there. It's actually a microcosm of the body. So where you press or where you put ear seeds or where you needle actually corresponds to that place. And so so for example, Shen Men, right, as here, there's the indications. This is a master point that alleviates stress and pain. It's in this area, so it would be here in this area of the body. And a lot of the kidney points are known for the water part of our body, grounding, connected to wisdom, there's a lot of indicators here. But yeah, pressing this point is amazing to support you to heal. So I was just thinking in terms of rabbits, it's amazing to actually press these points, these auricular points, when you feel stressed and overwhelmed. Yeah. Does that make sense, Jamin? Yeah, okay. So the next...
Where you press exactly?
Oh yeah, I can show you that later. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. And there's this diagram. You can find it. So the next one is the dragon. Who's the dragon? Woohoo! So here we go. Can you make it louder? The dragon. Okay. So it's the dragon year, and this year the dragon rises. And so, as we've been talking about, they're powerful, they're courageous, they're kind-hearted, majestic, and imaginative. But however, because of this power, they're already powerful, and they know it. Which is amazing, and I love that. But because of that, there's more energy coming. And so this year, it's about chi management, energy management. Otherwise, they can get overwhelmed and stressed, right? We were talking about how dragon rules the imagination. And so it's important to be aware. Where are you putting your energy towards? What are you imagining? Are you imagining fear or faith? How are you creating your life? Right? And so here's a question. I always just like to write, like, what would the question be that I could ask myself as a dragon this year? And that is, where am I serving from? And we looked at that already in terms of leadership. Oh, excuse me. Keep it. Thanks. Those are my kids, by the way. Okay. And then the approach is to serve, right? How can I serve here? One of the most, I think, amazing question to ask, which I have to say saved my butt quite a bit in different meetings, is, what is needed here? When I ask that question, it's amazing what arises to actually meet the opportunity of the time and to find the wisdom of the moment. So this is one of the questions to ask as a dragon with all the power you have. And because of that, you're usually leading already. And so the question here, wherever you find yourself stuck or clueless, is, what is needed here? How can I serve right here, right now? Yeah. And so the inauspicious stars is the sword edge, which means you're accident prone this year, simply because of all the energies that are coming to you again, right? So sometimes it's hard to manage all that energy, and your energy can get scattered and distracted. So it's important. The hidden corpse means there might be a hidden health issue, so do yourself a favor and get a checkup and a physical. And so the auspicious stars is the golden carriage, which means there's great opportunities for you. A lot of promotions, a lot of opportunities to rise in your social status, connections, networking, and in leadership. So are you ready for that? Do you have the capacity for that? How's your energy level? Are you able to manage your energy so you're not overwhelmed when these things actually invite you to play, right? So just being aware of that as well. The other part is the Duke's arrival, which means you have everyone's attention. When you come into the room, everyone's like, who's that? And so it's like you have that attention, you have that power. People feel your energy, because you're not holding your energy here as a dragon, you hold it out here. And so when you walk into the room, people feel your presence. So you have the Duke's arrival, right? Star. And then the Grand Duke, I put it in red there because this is a really important star, an indicator. The Grand Duke is actually an invitation to leadership. And so there might be some dragons who feel like they're not worthy, they're not deserving, they can't do it. And so if you don't actually answer the call, that power can distort. That power can go in and actually strengthen your idea of scarcity and lack, because power is neutral. So since you have this in the stars, it's important to answer that call. The call is, how am I going to serve? How are you going to serve? And where are you going to serve from? Right? Wield that energy, wield that power. Do you have a question? Oh, the year punishment. Okay, so the year punishment, thank you. And let me know if I missed something. But the year punishment, I know, good question, right? Like, what is up with that? Yeah, totally. So the year punishment is, these are things that have been accumulating and haven't been addressed, right? And so something arises from the complexity of procrastination. When you procrastinate, obstacles increase. This year punishment says, hey, okay, it's time to address it, otherwise it's going to explode in your face. So does that make sense? This is not the time to hide things under the carpet. The 12 animals are there. They're going to peek their head and they're going to show you like the energies that have been there, like in dormant. So including these pieces that haven't been addressed or ignored or avoided or denied, all of these energies will rise in the dragon year. Especially because the dragon, as I'm going to put here, if this is your year, usually when it is your year, you come face to face with who you are. You come face to face, it's the journey. And so this energy of who you are is facing you. And in that, you can see, how do you meet yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you embody the truth of who you are? That's going to be reflected to you. And so this is a really important time to do mirror work. And the mirror work, when you do mirror work, you go left eye to left eye, the yin eye to the yin eye, to go deep into the heart. And so when you do that, you can also do breathing work, breath work. Like, where am I not accepting myself? How can I radically accept who I am right here, right now, as I am? Right? And so doing that work and see in that mirror, yeah, how am I? How is my acceptance? Do I actually love this being, this creature? Or am I a friend or foe? Have I been competing with myself or judgmental or critical? Like, allow that to rise to see, where do I need to heal so that I can embrace the whole of my life, and then answer the calling to be a true servant leader, to then lead from the heart, right? Because you can't fake that shit, right? Posturing and things like that. Only you can lie to yourself, so to speak. In that, yeah, you can avoid it, deny it, but you can only do that for so long. This year is that year where you come face to face and actually see where you've been lying to yourself. So doing these practices are really important. Otherwise, you will have a distorted version of yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. Radical self-acceptance. Okay. Everyone's so quiet. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, so the next is the mystical snake, and so let's play their theme song. Who are the snakes in the house? Okay. Nice. There it is, the snakes. My mom is a snake. My daughter is a snake. I'm surrounded by snakes. Oh, Locust is a snake. Yay. Okay. So the snakes, they're the mystical. I just got to say thank you for coming, because I know that you could care less about this. Yeah, no, it's like the world is a trap. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. And that's the mystics, right? The mystics get it. They get it at the heart. They go into the space. Got it. Know it. And so this year is a really beautiful year because there's been like ups and downs these past few years. But this year is where your dreams can come true in the dragon time. And we say that because of the auspicious stars, actually. The sun, which actually brings clarity to your life. Because you're such a mystic, you can feel people's energies. And you're very sensitive, and you can see beyond that, and you can even see the darkness. And that can actually distort how you see things. But the sun brings light and clarity. So it's such a beautiful time for you to actually find this sunshine, the sunshine that you know is there, because the mystics know perfection. They've seen and experienced it in the eternal. That's what it means. that mystic is connected to the eternal soul, to the eternal being. And so they know what perfection is, but then they come back down into the earth and they're like, what the heck? What's up with this? This is like cramping my style, but this year they get to experience that sunshine, to feel that eternal. And the heavenly virtue means, again, it's like connecting with the heaven within, knowing that the divine is within you and connecting with that in a deep and real way to then manifest that into your life. And the fortune virtue, again, is what I was saying earlier, is dumb luck. So with all these 3 auspicious stars in the chart for the dragon year, it indicates that there's such a great possibility of things coming true. And a lot of the times the mystics, yes, they're professional, they're effective, they're amazing. With their task, they complete their task and all of that. But the thing is, they're really such deep creatures. They're usually more introverted and quiet, and they have like this quiet longing in the depth of their heart. So it's so beautiful to see that this will actually be reflected to them in this year. As we were talking about, the snake is the dragon's body. And this is really powerful because the snake is usually on the ground and like doing this, but now you're in the sky. You get to fly. So it's really beautiful. Yeah, they have, there's a lot of things to say about that, but okay. And then so the question is, what is my heart's deepest wish? Right? And doing manifestation this year is amazing. The 5 principles of manifestation: intention, imagination, believe, surrender, and receive. So having that as a natural practice, has a way of being. How can I be that this year in order to have the depth of my heart's wishes come true? And then there's a daily practice, because you are very sensitive, street armor, protective bubbling, a daily practice of intention for manifestation is really important. So before imagination, I just want to say intention. It's okay, girl. All right. Intention. Okay, next. Just wanting, oh, goodness. All right. The horse. Who's the horse? All right. Oh, you have a question. I'm sorry. The snake. Oh, yes, go for it. Oh, yeah, intention. The thing is, intention, right? When you have an intention, it could guide your imagination. It's actually intention, attention. Intention's inward, attention's outward. Intention, attention guides your imagination. And then, as you know, it leads, right, the chi and then the blood.
What's the sky emptiness, the robbery shaw?
Oh, sorry?
The robbery shaw.
Oh, yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting to talk about these things. But the bad chi, there's no such thing as bad chi. It just basically means that there are situations that you might find yourself that is about other people being petty and not respecting you, and so there could be negativity in this space, right? And so just being aware of the space. Robbery Shah means people can be jealous as you rise. This year, you're going to be amazing. And so there are people who are jealous of you, and there might be theft. That could be your work. That could be something physical. One of the ways I look at theft, if this is helpful at all, is if somebody steals from me, I think, okay, I hope that actually paid for my karmic debt. And may it be so, and may they actually benefit from that. And I'm just going to continue and let it be, because those things don't make me who I am. It's how I respond